This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, good evening. So in the last class, we discussed about this validation, substitution, and all those things. So today, let us look network. Okay, the WBS level we have done.
I think we should discuss substitution, huh? No?
Which one? Sorry.
I think we need to discuss substitution. Last class, I think we didn't have time to do it.
Substitution. Yeah, we discussed already. We discussed both, no, substitution as well as validation. Okay, you have doubt, you can ask maybe later because or you just refer it my previous class. I think we have discussed all the substitution, how we will put the value and all those things, right? That the person responsible, how it is automatically replacing it.
Well, I tried that validation multiple project and formula. That is the formula is incompletion message is coming. How to make it formula for
What formula you have written?
that is profile project profile I selected. So I am consider two project profile. So if you same the responsible person, the both profile, I have to replace 55, or if you only allow for 55 only for validation. So I single project it is working. Multiple project and formula how to create formula. I don't know. It's getting incompletion log.
Multiple project you have to say or, then it works.
Or
Yeah, I will show
okay.
it.
If you R means that project profile equal and what is the project profile, our profile or other profile that you are telling, like
Yeah.
ant also how we can use ant, because this ant this you are telling last time that two project, if you two project or three project you can use ant, so that is I'm using.
No, and is we means you have to all the criteria, then it will not work.
All criteria means that can you give some example?
Yeah. Okay, so I will just show it here. What kind of structure?
Validation.
So for example, if you want to check a plan, so you can say this prerequisite. Project profile is equal to, let's say, one value, constant value,
Okay.
this one, or so
Okay.
constant value, sorry, or project profile is equal to other one. You can put something else, maybe 2000. If project profile is this or this, then you check. So like that, or you can give. Or
Okay.
then, yeah, okay. Then in the project, planned is equal to planned project works, yeah, is equal to or in. Then I can put it in a set. So if it is not there, then I will just go and create it. Not there, so we can create a set. Let's say I will say set GS01. So let's say plant PRG profiles, something like that. Then table comes, the plant table comes in the so you should know from which table. T001 I forgot. Enterprise structure, definition, logistics, general. So here, this is the table should refer. So it is referring to the table T001. Then what is the field name? Field is works. So I think T001W. Yeah. So here you can see 1000, 1300, 1200. So anything comes in that category, it will allow. So this is what I'm going to put it there. So here I'll put that plant. Okay, then we have to give a message. Say I want to say a warning message. Then if I have a number, I can take it. Profit center is there. Then I can create another number, for example. I will say this. Please choose plant from the company. something like that. Client from the allowed list of then you save it. So we can get that number here. Then let's save it. So that's it. So now in case if I go, it will give you a warning, for example, if it is other than that. So that way you have to put or and put the value. See here the plant is there, so you can choose different one. Then if it is not within that range, then it will give error. For example, if I choose 1010, something like that. Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, it is already not belongs to company code, but supposed to be within the company code, something else you can choose it, what is available. If it is other than that one, then it will give you a warning. 1100 is there. I think this one also I allowed already. So we can just whatever is you want to add it or remove it from this set, you can go and do that one. For example, if I remove 1200, then if I put some change, it will give you a warning. Okay, so I can ignore it and save it. So that is the way you can do it. So always whenever you are doing it, here in the prerequisite, you choose or and the same condition. If project profile is equal to this, or project profile is equal to this, or this, how many you want, you can add it. Then the same number you can assign to all those project profiles. Then this is the prerequisite. Then you have to put the check, what you want to check it. So here I am checking whether the plant is in this set. If it is not there, then it will give a message. So I put it warning here. So anyway, if somebody is using the system, it will not disturb them. Okay, so let's go back to the network. So far we discussed about the WBS elements. So now let us look into networks. So basically the same way what we explained the WBS element also, we'll talk about the generic terms. Then afterwards we'll jump into the SAP, details. So project network, because initially we said that there is 3 tools which is basically used for project management. So one is the WBS element, the second one is the project network, and the third one is the documents. So here we are talking about the network. The WBS element you have seen. The second one is project network. So what is a project network? A project network diagram is a pictorial representation of the sequence in which the project work can be done. So earlier we talked about the WBS element. So WBS element, it is not the detail of the work. WBS element only you are preparing a hierarchical structure for that entire scope of the project into manageable pieces. So when it comes to network, here what we are doing it, we are listing down the details of the work. So what need to be executed. So the task, each task will be listed down. So that is what, and then you represent it in a pictorial way. That is what that is known as project network diagram. Then there are some details about it, characteristics of project network diagram. The network diagram is essentially a flowchart that includes all of the project tasks or activities and how they related to one another. So that is important. So when you are talking about a project network, means there will be entire project tasks and activities will be listed. Then you will show how they are related to one another. It is widely used because it is easy to read and not only depict the sequence of the activity in the project, but also shows parallel activities and the links between each activity. So that is important. So when you're talking about a project network, means it is one of the easy tool for you to see the entire work or task to be completed in a project. Okay, because it will list down all your sequential activities, all your parallel activities, and all the relationship between the activities. Everything will be represented there. So network logic is the collection of activity dependencies that make up a network for a particular project. So here important is, first we will list down all the activities, the task which is related to that project. Then that we will link it together. So linking it, we call it as a dependency. So which is all in from SAP perspective, call it as a relationships. So there is certain other words, tasks are dependent on one another to complete the project. This creates a logical stream of events. So actually we are creating a logical event to complete the project. Then these are the benefit, or you can say the usage. It defines the network diagram, lets you do the following. It defines the project path. Okay, there is, we are talking about a critical path. You might have heard that critical path method. Anyway, that I will explain during a scheduling time what is critical path, how it's calculated. So just understand there is a defined project path is possible. Sequence of tasks to be completed that you can do it. Relationship is possible to understand what is the relation between. Then what is the dependency, whether it's a lead, lag, those are the kind of dependency will be shown. Then whether there is a parallel tasks are there, if it is there, it is possible. Then you can put benchmarks, or you can say milestones is possible to add it in the networks. Then, for example, you can reschedule it. You can make adjustments of the task, whether it is completed, whether it's not completed, whether you need to move it, and all those things, that is possible. Then you will see the project path clearly. I mean, this critical path, critical activities. So you will be able to monitor it properly for those tasks. Then again, these are some of the benefits that can be used for detailed project planning, as a tool for analyzing scheduling alternatives, and as a control tool. Gives a clear graphical picture of the relationship, can be viewed as a Gantt chart. So this is the most important. All of you might have known these things, right? People who are working in familiar with project, you know what is Gantt chart. It's a bar chart which is shown, or you will see most of the time people make Gantt chart in Excel also for to show any kind of projects, or we use in MS Project normally, or Primavera. Whenever you go, most of the people will view it in the Gantt chart view, where they want to see how the project look like. So now when we are talking about the network, basically there are two type of networks are available. Okay, I'm not talking, it's a generic, I'm saying. Basically there are two network. One is AOA, or we call it as activity on arrow, and another one is AON, activity on node. So here what you are seeing, this kind of network, maybe if you have referred some kind of project management books or anything, you might have seen these pictures. So here they are talking about a kind of earlier, when before softwares are regular, then that time people used to use this kind of diagram to represent the project network. And this is another way of representing the project, which is activity on node. So both are a little bit difference are there. Okay, so here what here saying is the arrows are representing an activity and nodes are the relationships. But here the node is representing an activity and arrow is representing a relationship. There is a difference. Okay, here the arrow itself is the activity, and here arrow is just a relationships, and this node is the activity. So this kind of method of creating network, which is known as ADM or arrow diagram method, and this kind of network making method is known as PDM or precedence diagram method. So this is PDM, precedence diagram method. This is ADM, which is called as arrow diagram method. So these are the two way of creating the network. Okay. So basically, what we will be looking on this part. Okay, this is what the software uses. So if you look at this, the most commonly used network diagram is activity on the node AON, or also known as precedence diagram method PDM. So this is the method which is almost all the software uses. The basics unit of analysis in network diagram is activity. So this is the activity is the one. Each activity in the network is represented by a rectangle that is called the activity node. So a rectangle, for example, here if you look at it, this rectangle, which is known as activity node. Then arrow represent the predecessor or successor relationships between this activity. For example, if you look at A relationship to C, so A is known as predecessor of the C, or C is known as successor of A, that way. Okay, so this is what we call the predecessor or successor relationship between activities. So that is arrow represents. So this is the method. Basically, if you look at all the softwares for project management, or you can say to draw the project network diagram, so all the softwares they uses this method, which is known as PDM, precedence diagram method. Okay, so this is what generic details about network. So now let us look into SAP. So here in SAP as well, so we have WBS elements and activities. Okay, so here assignments are done. So we know earlier we said there is a 1:n relationship. For example, you can create a list of activities, and those activity you can assign to the WBS element. So how you can assign? There is 1:n. One WBS can have n activity. There is no limit on that. So now let us look into the details. So same way, when we talk about the WBS element, when you are drawing network also, network consists of a network header. So in WBS, we said there will be a project definition. Similarly, in the network, we will have a network header. Then there are activities, network activities are there. So different activities will be there. Then there are activity elements to it. Then there is a relationship to it. So all together combined to be known as network. Okay. So
one question, please. Can I have only network structure to control the critical path without WBS?
Yes, you do it, but that is not known as best practice. You can create network for representing a project task. So here, this is network which is consisting of network header, then activities, then we have activity elements, then relationships. So these are the relationship between each activity. So now again, what is the functions of the network header? Default values, control values, account assignment object. Okay. Then when you're talking about activities, it's again a planning element where you can do the dates planning, okay, and tasks or work planning, and all those things can be done based on the activities. Then activity elements, it means you can break down this activity into small pieces. So that is, we call it as activity elements. Then the relationships. The relationship is to connect between the activities or to maintain the dependencies between the activity. So we use the relationships. So there is no relationship between activity elements. Okay, so only the relationships are between activities. So now here you are seeing there is something called if the network is header assigned, if the network is activity assigned. It is again coming to the controlling object concept. For example, from CO perspective, network and activity also considered as a cost object, okay, like WBS element. But here there is a difference. For example, you can make either head as a cost object, or you can make activity as a cost object, not both, okay. So if you are making activity as a cost object, then which is known as activity assigned. If you are making head as a cost object, that is known as header assigned object. So from look and feel wise, it won't be much difference. Only thing is cost posting wise. If it is a header assigned, then cost you can post cost only on the header. If it is a activity, then you can post cost on the activity. That is it. Now we are talking about the different type of activities. Okay, so here there are 4 type of activities are available in PS in the network. So the activity, the type of activity which is identified or represented by the control key, which is in the network. So if the control key changes, then the network activity also changes. So there is internal processing, then we have external processing, then there is services, then cost activity. So these are the 4 type of activities. So basically internal activities or internal processings are used to represent the works or services performed in-house. Okay. Then external is used for procurement of works or services. I mean, basically, when it comes to service, then that is known as service activity, but it is an external activity. Then purchasing of services with service specification and all those things can be done with service activity. Then cost activity is just for planning of your additional primary cost kind of things. If you want to add some cost in your network, so anyway, that will take in detail when it comes to network costing, how it can be used on that one. Okay, so basically, when it comes to the project, 99% of projects will be using 2 activities. One is your internal activities, second will be the service activities. So the internal, you will use it for plan your all kind of internal resources, okay, your manpower, equipment, tools, and all kind of internal resources will be planned using your internal activity. And your subcontracting, or we can say the external vendor services, that will be represented by service activity. So this is the 2 normally we'll use this, okay, but as a information, these are the different 4 available. About the cost activity, I will explain you how to use it during your network cost. Then what are activity and network is used for? What is the purpose of using these things? Basically, the major is the date planning or scheduling. This is the very important functionality which is achieved by this network. Then also you can use it for cost planning, costing. So there is a network costing functionality is available. Then you can use it for resource planning, material, labor, capacity, document. So any kind of resources you can plan it with this. Then during the execution, cost, dates. So you can record the actual dates against activity. Then you can also use it for overheads, capacity load reduction, and all those things can be used. Then obviously you can use it for monitoring, progress analysis, capacity load utilization. So all kind of monitoring also you can use the network. So major functionalities are date planning, and there is a network costing also used. Mostly the customer projects, when you're talking about a customer projects, they uses the network costing, because as per your schedule, system will give you what is the total cost required. So it will be easy to monitor and easy to control. Then we are talking about the relationships. So there are four kind of relationship is possible. Okay, so one is finish to start. For example, we have 2 activity, production and assembly. Then how do you connect these 2 activities, the sequencing? So there is 4 way of connecting. One is called finish to start. So it means once finish the production, you start the assembly. So you finish this activity and then this you start the second one. So that kind of relationship is known as FS relationship. Then there is a kind of relationships are known as SS relationship. It means you can start together. So mostly if you have parallel activities, then this is the relationship you use. Both you start together. So for example, you can start engineering and purchase order together. Okay, so that is kind of finish start to start activities. Similarly, you can have finish to finish relationships. Both is finishing together. For example, your engineering will finish, then same time work scheduling should finish, that way, the finish to finish. Then we have another type of activities are there, a relationship is there, which is called SF, start to finish. For example, if I want to start the test run, then acceptance will start when the test run finish, right? When I want to start the acceptance, then the test run has to be finished. So this kind of start to finish relationships are there. But in reality, 90% you will be using this finish to start relationship. Then at 10% there will be SS relationship. These are special relationships available. If you want, you can use it, which is possible. System supports. But this is the two, basically, you will be using it. Okay, so let me just show you that. Then we will come to this. Okay, for example, we take one project. So if you look at here, these are the list of activities. Okay, so for example, this is an activity and this is an activity like that. So here, different type of activity may be there. So if I look at this list, then these are the internal process activities. Then if I go to the total, it represents different, there is a 4 radio buttons. It represents 4 kind of activities, whether it is internal, external, service, or general cost. So if you scroll down, let's see. So for example, this is a general cost activity, and this is a service activity, and the rest of all are, I think, internal activities. So if I want to see a service activity, so I can just go here, select it, go to detail. So this is a service activity. So service activity means how it is represented by the control key. For example, it's PS05. If you look at here release, it will be PS01. So this control key represents the type of activity, whether it is internal, external, or insurance. If you look at it, it is a PS03. This is general cost activity. So depends on that activity, the tab also some changes will be there. For example, certifications is an external activity, so you will have an external with the service. So this details will be here, plus there will be services will be here. You can have services created under to it. Okay, this is the services which is maintained under to that activity. Then similarly, what we need to see is the relationships. For example, how these different networks are made the relationships. So if I look at the network graphic, you can see the relationship, how they maintained here. You can see this finish to start, this, these are the different finish to start, this is the maximum relationships are there. This is the finish to finish relationship is here. Start to start relationship is here. SS is there. So this is how the network graphic will represent the, so this is the same thing what you have seen, right? This is activity on node, and these are the arrow represent the relationships. So this is what we call AON network, or you can say PDM, precedence diagram network. So these are the activity. Then here, if you want to see the relationship, there is an option here. You can go to here. If you look at this icon relationship overview, system will show you what are the predecessor, then what are the successors. It will show you. Okay, what you are seeing it here, a mixed, both predecessor, successor together will come. Or if you go to predecessor, it will show only predecessor. If you go to successor, it will show only successor. Okay, so let me just go to this one again. So now we are talking about an activity elements. So as a part of the network, there are activity elements also available. Okay, elements also possible to break it like similar way how you are going to break the activity, internal processing, external processing, cost or service. It is possible. Then another thing is the relationship is not there between the activity elements. Okay, and there is a material planning functionality is there in activity, which is not possible in the activity element. Work and capacity, same like network activity, you can use it. So basically, why you are using the elements is, for example, if you want to make a detailed network, so instead of going for too much micro level details, you create the net activities a bit higher level, and the elements will be used to break it down further. Okay, so what happened, the network diagram. So for example, if I go to the network diagram, so here in the network diagram, if I go, so here what you are seeing here, these are the activity elements. Okay, these are the different activity elements is taken by, broken by this insurance. They put into specification, power engine, high voltage control. These are the different insurance of under this. They broken it up. But if you go to the network diagram, you will not find this inside here. The activity elements will not be here. Only activities are available here. So you to make the network a bit manageable and simple, as on the same time you can add the micro level detail. So that is the functionality normally uses for the activity elements. So you have the activities will be there. That activity you can make it, expand it further. That is known as
Atul, where we want to mention that FS, SS, that where we have to maintain activity.
Okay, I will come to that. I did not to come to the creation. I'm just showing you that it's available.
Yeah. Okay.
I will create it. So then there is a concept called subnetwork. Okay, or we can call it as subnetwork concept, basically used whenever there is a PM integration comes. For example, plant maintenance order. You can assign a plant maintenance order to a network activity. Then that plant maintenance order, normally we call it as a subnetwork. Or you can create one network also under to a network activity. Then that is called a subnetwork. It is just one main network you will create, and under that subnetworks is created just to expand it further. So that option is also available. Then how we can create the network? The same way as I said, either you can directly from the project builder, or you can do through the assembly processing, same like we said, or you can copy from a template. Then this is a network graphic which I have just shown you. Then these are some of the tips what normally SAP says, that use maximum of 10,000 activities and elements per project. So not more than that. 10,000 is too much actually. So 10 means a very huge project. Then what they say, in one header, under one network header, create maximum 500 activities, not more than that. So the performance will not be impacted. Then use activity elements to split an activity into its various tasks. So for example, you want to split it, use it. Do not assign activities from a header assign network to several network. It is a technical. For example, if you are using header assign, it means you are posting all the cost always at the head level. Then those kind of network you create for each WBS one network you create. That's what that's it. Then use the option of creating several networks and sub-networks for one project to store different responsibilities. For example, if you have different departments are working in one project, for example, you have civil, mechanical, electrical, instrumentation, like these 3-4 departments are design. So around 5 departments are working in one project. So what is saying, instead of creating one network, you create 5 networks for each department, one network. Then you use a different MRP controllers for that. So what happens, your responsibility will be changed, and you can have a different authorization control, and also you can use it for that parallel processing. For example, one network is handled by one person, another person can open the other network. That way, that locking and all those things will not come. And these are the things which we need to consider for the configurations. Okay. So let me just go to the creation, how to we create a network. So before creating a network, let us take a scenario, how we are going to create it, right? For example, let's say if you are going to do a SAP implementation, suppose. So what are the activities normally you consider, right? So for example, it's the first one, I need an initial preparation. So first you make some preparations. Okay, then we call it say how many days you require, maybe 1 day that you can do. Then after that you go for a kickoff meeting, right? That is also 1 day. Then we have after this you will go for BBP, all right, BBP workshop for PS suppose. Then this will start repeating for MM, SD, FI, like that. So this is the way you need to first create the concept, right? You need to have this concept. Then each you need to say how many days. Maybe this is 5 days. This is 10 days. Like that you can say. This is 3 days. Then this is 15 days. Like that you have to decide how many days it takes. So these are the things you need to create it. Okay. Then, for example, you have say this one. SD guy is you are taking it from outsource, then you can create it as a service if you want. That way it's all possible. So let's create it. I think we have a project. So let me just check what are the projects we have. How many projects we created with our profile. So how do we check? I will say $*. So all the project with dollar will come. Okay, so we have this number 7. Let me just check. It's already. Okay, for example, this is there. So this is one structure is there. So that we will use it for scheduling purpose. Let us just practicing. Let us take a simple one here. Yeah. For example, this one I want to create a network and activity. So let's say I will create one more WBS element on the page. Okay, so for example, I can create a network here under it, just to create a network. So first thing is you have to choose the network profile, the network type. This, or you can default it, an MRP controller. If you have different, then you can keep it blank. Then you can, instead of defaulting, you can choose it here. Okay. Then you put a description. Then you enter it. Okay. Then it asks the start date. So basically, it is taking the start date from the project definition. So since it is in the past, that's why it's showing yellow message. Okay, so either you can accept it and proceed, or you can change the date. Then after that, you want to create activity. So there is a way you can right click and create if it is 111, internal, external cost, like that. Or you can select here and go here and prepare it, copy paste it from Excel if it is required. Okay, so for the time being, I will just create it one by one. Let's say I will create an internal activity as a 10 first activity. So what this is called preparations. Then the duration is 1 day. Then I just enter it. Then I need to create another one, say internal activity again, which is known as kickoff meeting, again 1 day. Then I will create again an internal activity, which is called as, let's say, BBP workshop for PS. It's a 5 days job. Okay, then I will create one external service activity. I'm taking the service, so which is known as, let's say, take this. This is the one I'm going to take. So once I enter this, it will ask you to maintain the services, what service you are going to take. So I'm taking consulting service. So it's for how many hours you want, like that. You can say I need 100 hours at the rate of 25 euro, something like that. You can put it. So this is I'm taking it from outside. Then this way, and there is a duration is there. So duration is a planned delivery time. So I will say I need it for 3 days. Like now, let me just save this. So we'll open it up. Now what we are talking about is this two are supposed to be under this, suppose. Then I will say just drag and drop it here. This two is supposed to go to here. So this way you can do it. It's not necessarily in each, under each WBS element you create a network header. It's not required, because this is possible this way. Now we need to maintain the relationship. So one option, simplest option, is you select any of this activity network object, either activity or network header. So you will get this network graphic active. You select WBS element, it will be inactive. So you select any object from network, it will get active. Then you click on that, it will take you to here. Then here you can maintain the relationships. For example, I want first preparation, then kickoff meeting. So this to this, finish to start. So I can take the connector. So I will say preparation. So here this is start and this is finish. That is how it's considered. The leftmost is finish start, rightmost is finish. So this is finish to start relationship. So from this finish to this start. Okay. Then after kickoff meeting, BBP workshop or PS will start from here. It will start here. But the workshop for SD also will start along with the PS. So this relationship will be start to start. Like, so this is the way you can maintain the relationships. So once you come here, if you go it here, then you can see this relationship here. Relationships are here. So one predecessor, one is before that, then one successor, one is after that. So after that, I came to know that this workshop for PS required some more detail. So I will just create the activity element work. So the numbering will automatically proposed after 40, 50. So, but you want to just for logical linking, you can change it to 31. Suppose if you want, yeah. Then you mention that this is belongs to activity element instead of that one. So PS workshop. So first will be the workshop day one. Day one, it will be on organization structure. Okay, then you want the day two like that. You want more details. Create active element work. So I will change it to here 32. Then we'll say this one workshop day. Day two, you will think of master data like that. So this way you can detail it. So if I, after creating this, if I go to the graphic, network graphic.
Hello.
Yeah. If I go to graphic,
Abdul, basically this.
Yes, tell me.
Abdul, can you hear me?
Yes, tell me.
Yeah, basically this finish to start until my finish, I can't able to start, right? Whether I can't able to release, it will stop system, or I can't able to use any PR.
Nothing like that. It's a dependency. That is, you are planning it, how you are going to do it. So
but
relationship is not going to stop.
So how I can make it because of finish?
Stop, you have to do it. You say you should not release it. If you release all,
but
then
system has to stop me. Basically, finish to start until for 0020 activity until 0010 finish. I can't able to start.
You are too ideal. I think you have to come to the reality, which is not possible at all, right? For example, from the let's say when you talk about the perspective of finance perspective, where you have a monthly settlement, monthly cost settlement and all those things, then if you are incurring some cost, then you need to release the project, then only they will be able to settle it. So obviously when you release the project, automatically all the activity will get released. So but a release is not a showstopper for your project to execute. Project to execute is based on the schedule. So anyway, I have not gone to that. When it comes to schedule, we'll explain you how the scheduling will be done. Then people should do the actual time recording or execution based on the schedule, not based on the status.
So you mean to say that the relationship is just for information? It never stops anything in any control.
No, there is a lot of control, but that is not for your stopping it. It is for scheduling purpose.
Okay.
Dependencies are there. So how do you make the schedule? How to make the critical path, and all those things are depends on the relationship. But that is not for you to stop. Don't start. Don't do it. So based on that one, you are preparing an entire schedule. So that schedule is there. So people should work based on the schedule. So unless and until you don't confirm and all those things you have to do it. Add a user status extra. Okay, don't do this unless and until this is done. Then you can do it like that.
Okay, we can also schedule external also, right? Not only internal. We can also schedule external
activities, right?
Yeah, in internal there is a scheduling tab which is available, but when we go to external there is no scheduling tab which is available. That's why I'm asking.
Which
you are giving some.
For example, this
internal
one is an external activity.
Yeah.
Here also there is dates are there. This is the schedule related. And if you go to internal also, dates are there. There is no difference.
No,
Only
but the
thing is
duration.
that duration, yes, duration in internal it is on the normal duration. Here we call it as the planned delivery time.
Okay.
Planned delivery time, and here it is known as normal duration. There is a difference. So obviously that both are same effect, but there is a calendar kind of things. For example, if you are asking somebody, external party, I want something in 30 days, you don't say 30 working days, right?
Yeah.
Normally you are saying 30 days means 30 calendar days. So that same concept is there in SAP also. So if you are getting something from external party, then that is always calendar days. If it is internal, then that is for your factory calendar. How many days you have working day, how many days you are holiday, and all those will be considered. Okay, so this is the very basic. Anyway, network is a long subject, so it's not going to finish. We will be having many classes because especially we have to look detail about scheduling. That is another one. Then after that, we need to look detail in costing. So all those things. Then we have to go for material planning. So it's a long subject. Then we have capacity planning. So everywhere network comes. So this is just a beginning. So don't try to ask all the doubts now. So you keep it. So maybe in the next class your doubt will be clear.
Hello.
Yeah.
This is Lalit, sir.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, I worked on a government project.
Okay.
On government, there's no concept of activity and network and sub networks and sub. So.
No, it's not that network. It's not that government. There is no concept. It is actually what we are talking about is there is a two type of project. As far as government, these are internal projects. For them, they are not doing project for others. So internal project or investment project. So investment project, they are not using.
Yes.
Investment. So what happened? Normally, investment project means the execution will be done by a contractor.
Right. So there is no concept of network and those things.
Normally people are not using it, but it can be used. Actually, what happened? The network, the network from contractor, you need to get the details. What is the plan they are making it? Then that plan you can put it here, so you will be able to monitor it.
So they are using project estimation, and in the project estimation screen, there is some WBS element, total amount, tender rate, and negation. And in the one line item, they are using the users and item number, item category, activity description, and in the activity number, they are using the schedule of rate. And the schedule of rate, for example, cement mortar 1.6 and 1:6 ratio. Hello.
Yeah.
So,
tell me.
how we can use the project estimation? I was not able to understand. Where is the project estimation screen? Is this a customized screen and something else?
Okay, they are doing a customized screen. Okay. There is a different way of doing. For example, there is some concept called resource related billing, and that sales pricing. Those kind of things are there in PS, where you can have cost planning. Then from the cost planning, you can generate the cost, estimated cost, like that.
So can you tell me, sir, how this screen they made? How?
Yeah, no problem. We'll come to that. When you take the costing, I will show you how we are doing that.
So the project estimation screen my company created. It is totally the part of management and the development.
Okay, but there are possible standard ways there. You can try, because that's what I was just talking about. We will come in very detail about network costing. So network costing is one of the way you can easily do the project estimation. because you decide what are the resources you are going to be in your project. Then that based on that resources, system will calculate and give you what is the total cost. But not automatically. System you have to decide what this is this much cost is, the based on that one system will calculate it. So there is a standard way. So maybe your case because maybe that during the client requirement, maybe they have a very special case which was not able to meet by the standard. Maybe that is the reason they might have gone for customization, because we don't know what is the situation. But standard way we will show you, but how customizing, there are options available. Based on that one you can customize as well. But we will show you about the standard functionalities.
Sir, I want to know how our company customize that scheme.
Yeah, I will. That's what I'm saying. Standard way, I will show you. Customization, if you can send me the screenshots, then I will have a look at it and tell you what maybe they were used to.
Sure, sir, I can share it.
Yeah, because you can send it to, that Rama's ID is there, no? You send it to him, then I will have a look.
Yes, sir, I can share it.
Abdul,
yeah.
Okay, sir, you can get it.
Yes.
Abdul, Gopi here.
Yeah, Gopi, tell me.
So in the work, I can use not only hours, right? For example, there is a scenario for me, 100 square feet one activity. So every time if they complete 10 square feet, I have to pay some amount. So whether it is possible to meet this scenario? So basically works we are giving hour.
Okay. What you are saying is work, right? Work, based on work you want to pay.
Yeah.
So see here, normally the work is SAP supported by the unit of time only. So either it will be in hours, day or month, like that. So one way of doing thing is you translate your 10 square meter how many hours. Okay, that is one way of doing things. Second way of doing thing is in SAP there is a additional functionality called statistical key figure, which doesn't have any unit. You can just represent a quantity. Then you can have planned quantity, and once it is completed, you can have actual quantity. So you will get a report based on that.
Okay. I need to activate any function for that?
Yes, I think there is for one configuration is there for if you want to use it for activity level. If it is for a WBS element level, I think it's straightforward a transaction code. You can do a plan, then you can do book actuals.
But anyway, when we are doing service entry sheet, we can able to mention the feet,
yes,
right?
That is also possible. That is also possible. For example, if you are doing it for, if you are getting the service from an outside vendor, a contractor, then you can do it through service entry. You can have a service activity created where you specify the for them the meter square, everything you can do, any cost, any unit of measurement you can use it in the service. Then once you do the service entry sheet, based on that one you will come to know that how much service is completed. So based on that completion, you can do your confirmation of budget confirmation.
Okay, but still I can't able to make it the duration on the this thing is as a square feet.
Duration, no, because that is duration is supported or work is supported by time unit. You can show as something like, but in the backend it will be ultimately a time unit. You understand? No, you can make a custom unit document, call it whatever name you want it, but it will be a time unit ultimately in the backend.
Okay.
That is a workaround. Just you are just by visualizing, you will seeing that this is how it is, but actually that is happening based on that one. So then again, you have to put the conversion. How many 1 square meter is equal to how many days or how many hours, like that.
But that is very difficult now. So they will complete.
Yes. So that is what it is, a derived unit kind of concept. You can have a derived unit from the time unit. But you have to put the conversion. It will be converted. Because the time unit only, it is supported for the duration, work, and all those things. It should be in time unit. So either in hours, day, month, year, no problem.
Okay.
But this is other options. So the SAP has given because of this as a SKF standard statistical key figure is Just you can create and you can plan and actual you can do it.
Can you show me? Is it possible? Can you able to show or
Yeah,
tomorrow?
maybe in one of the class I will show you that one.
Okay.
All right. Then.